Welcome everyone back to the Aura podcast. Today's episode is a little bit different. It's me and Eryka today. It's kind of almost like an introductory episode to kind of what the Aura podcast is about and kind of get to know both of us and show you guys a little insider of what the Aura podcast is. So to kind of begin, my name's Anton. I'm a biology student here at Algoma.
My name's Eryka. I'm a third-year psychology student.
So what you guys usually see is me and Eryka who are kind of filming and recording the episodes. On the back, we have Eves who kind of edits, produces content for you guys to watch. And those are kind of the three people involved in the Aura podcast. So with the Aura podcast, it's kind of an AUSU ran podcast. Where we kind of try to get students, administrative people, and other groups or clubs to kind of come on the podcast and talk about things that are happening around the school with them and try to build a connection with students. And that's kind of what our goal is. We want students to kind of watch the podcast and see that there are other people who are kind of going through what they're going through or can give advice and with life, school, and even graduate school and stuff like that. Do you have anything you want to kind of talk about the Aura podcast that you've seen that's kind of help? Or
I think you covered everything. My goal with the my goal with my interviews kind of covers that same line of connecting students with like when I talked to Dr. Dave Broadbeck, connecting students with seeing their professors in maybe a different light where it's not necessarily you see them talk about their experience in academia and that kind of stuff, and not just the professor at the front of the classroom lecturing. So you kind of get a different angle, and with other students, you get kind of their perspectives and how their career is going as a student. And so it's, again, like you said, they're not necessarily alone. We're all going through the same type of things as students.
Exactly. And the whole goal is really just to kind of bring the community in Algoma together and just try to bring everyone together and get a little bit of what's going on. And then with that, I mean, for me, I kind of touch on specific guests, and that's kind of why we brought Eryka on this year. For some of you who have been watching last year, it was me and Ease that were kind of interviewing people, and Ease would touch on certain guests that I really didn't have a lot of experience with. And that's kind of why we brought Eryka along too, is to kind of touch on guests that I really struggle to kind of interview or I don't have that much experience in. So for me, I kind of like to interview, I really enjoy interviewing athletes. As someone who kind of plays sports and is involved with those type of things, I truly enjoy learning about other student athletes at Algoma. So, I mean, for people that have been watching, we had wrestlers, we've had basketball players, we had skiing, soccer, and so forth. So it's kind of interesting to kind of see what different student athletes kind of go through and how they kind of manage school and athletics. And, even the accomplishments that they've, achieved, it's very interesting, and it's kind of something that I like to interview. Obviously, I kind of know I have to kind of go past that, which is something I've been working on. And for Eryka, what are some of the type of guests that you like to?
Definitely I like the professor interviews that we've done. I think those are interesting. Those are really interesting. We did one, I don't know if it's released yet, with Narn Cameron.
Yeah.
And that one was really interesting. It's very interesting to hear professors talk about their specialties and what their PhDs and stuff are in, because usually that's what they're most passionate about in their field. And so I like those interviews, hearing professors talk about. Yeah,
I think that's something that we didn't do last year a lot, which is kind of cool this year. It's kind of is bringing on professors, because I feel in the classroom, sometimes if you don't have that kind of connection with them, you don't know a lot about them. But I think with the two interviews we had with the professors, it was kind of interesting to hear about, how they even became a professor, what they study. Because I feel like a lot of students sometimes think, hey, this professor might not like me, or they're doing this and that. But I mean, in the Broadbeck episode, it was really good. Yeah. We kind of got to see what he's interested, what he likes to do, and even the advice that both professors gave. Yeah. I thought it was really good advice, and I think it's a lot that students can learn from by kind of watching this podcast. And then kind of moving on to that, what was your favorite guest to interview on the podcast?
Definitely the Dave Broadbeck.
Yeah,
We've mentioned that one a lot, but that one was, I think, really interesting. He's a very good speaker because he has so much experience with podcasts.
Yeah, he was easy to...
Yeah, his personality is very, like, it just fits very well as somebody what am I trying to say? Like, he just has the type of personality of somebody that you would want to interview and that can hold the conversation.
He makes it very easy, you know what I mean? Like, some people we bring on, you can kind of see they haven't really been on a podcast before, which is fine, right? Not everyone does it, but I think Dr. Broadbeck was like, he was just a natural. Like, he was so easy to work with. Yeah. And I think he made the episode a lot more easier and fun, and it was really interesting as well. I think for me, my favorite episode was probably one with Christopher. He was a soccer player here. I think his story was pretty interesting. Someone who he had celiac and then he was playing soccer and going through all these type of little things. I think that was a good one, and I also really enjoyed the Devin one this year, just because I enjoyed what he was talking about and what he was preaching about helping his community and what he wanted to do with his degree. And I think that's something that's pretty cool about the people we interview is I'm always interested in kind of what are you guys going to do with your degree? Yeah. Do you know? Because I mean, for me, I have no idea. Yeah. So it's kind of I think for me it's kind of interesting asking some of the guests, hey, what are you going to do with your degree after, and things like that. And even I think we got we had the NFT club, and we had, obviously, I don't think this one got released yet, but the APA. Yeah. I think the clubs are pretty cool too, because I don't know about you, but when I came to Algoma, I kind of didn't really know a lot about the clubs or how to get involved. So I think it's really cool that we're bringing on clubs, and I think that's something that you've helped a lot with too, is kind of bring on clubs to kind of allow students to join and bring awareness about it. And then what are some of the funny moments on the podcast that you think that are some funny stuff that's happened?
The funniest thing I think that happened was we had one of our microphones taped to this little table during one of the interviews, and it just, for whatever reason, we've done it before and it stayed, but for whatever reason that day, it just kept falling, and we had to stop the interview 3 times.
I remember that was the Machen interview. I remember because I think it was maybe 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and we just had to keep stopping and retaping it. It was kind of...
Yeah, I know. I remember that one. That was a funny one. I mean, I'm not really sure. I mean, we had some funny. I feel like we had some funny moments, but it's usually just things going wrong.
Yeah, the tech errors. Yeah, those
exactly. I think, and that's probably something hopefully the school can help us with moving forward. Is definitely that type of stuff. And then kind of moving on to the all about the Aura podcast is who do you think you want to see? Is there anything that you'd recommend to the students? Or is there anything that the students would want to see on the podcast?
Maybe more professor interviews. I think that's... Maybe we can get one from every department. I think that'd be cool. Yeah. So that's probably what I think people would like to see. If there's any professors that anybody wants to see, you can definitely send us a Instagram message or comments. Anything like that, and we can reach out to those professors and talk to them if you're their PhD or whatever is so interesting, or when they talk in class they're so interesting, I want to know more about them outside of that lecture setting. Go ahead, let us know, and we'll
Exactly. Especially if you even see us on campus, I think if you have any questions, or if if there's anyone you want to see, kind of just let us know, because we're always open to new guests and ideas, because I think that's something that sometimes I feel like sometimes we just, who do we bring on sometimes, and sometimes it's a bit of a struggle. But if you guys have any suggestions, kind of let us know who you'd like to see. Just, you could obviously DM the Aura podcast on Instagram. Again, she said leave a comment, just stuff like that, so we can know what you guys are interested in. I think one thing that we should maybe do is maybe put a poll out and kind of see or something like that, just to see what students want to see, or maybe even who their favorite interview was. Just kind of get an idea of what the students want. Yeah. But on that note, guys, this is just kind of a brief, what the Aura podcast is, to kind of get to know about Eryka and myself. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a quick one, and we hope to see you on the next one. Thank you.
Thank you.